And a very good afternoon to you, and welcome here to Super Value Pork Equive for the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5 encounter between two Queen Pins of Cork and Galway. And we're getting ready for the action now, about 10 minutes away from throwing. Liz, of course, from Kilkenny, Liz Dempsey, the match official, will be out guiding us in the next while. I think she's been sensible enough. She's staying in out of the drizzle that I think has beset the whole country practically at this point. I've drove for 2 hours down and it was pouring all the way. Miserable conditions when you consider it's the last weekend of June. But we have a big camogie match to look forward to, and I have to say I am privileged to be joined by the most decorated camogie player in the history of the game. Gemma O'Connor is with me this afternoon, and Gemma, it's a pleasure to have you, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks a million, Killian. I'm delighted to be here, especially in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. It's the place you want to be. Just looking at the top two teams here today, and there's no doubt that Cork won't want to be beaten by Galway today here in Cork, so it should make for a very interesting competition.
Should do. Of course, Cork, the reigning All-Ireland champions, looking to lay down a big marker. Probably no disrespect to the other teams that they've played, but probably the biggest game that they've played in the championship so far. So they will line out as selected that you might have seen on social media and whatever. And the match programme, Amy Lee of Napiersic will be in goal. Maeve Murphy of Ballinora, Izzy O'Regan of Ballygarvan, and Pamela Mackey of Douglas will be the full back line. Hannah Looney of Killa, Laura Tracy back, of course, from the third round that she played against Clare after her injury. She's back, of course, at Kildare at centre back, and then Laura Hayes, the vice captain of St. Catherine's, is out on the left wing. At centre field it continues as Aisling Thompson of Milford and Aoife Healy of Ahada, and then in the half forward line it's Saoirse McCarthy of Courcey Rovers. Her clubmate Fiona Keating will be on the 40, and Cliona Healy of Ahabullock will be in the left wing. And then the full forward line, what a dangerous full forward line it has potential to be. Of course, we know all about the scoring prowess of Amy O'Connor, Katrina Mackey, what she's been doing this year as well, and Orla Cahalane, of course, had a big game against Clare with 1-4. She will be in the left corner, but we will expect to see the names of Saoirse McCartan, of course, coming in. We might see Gráinne Cahalane at some point as well, but Rachel Hartley, Hayley Ryan, Emma Murphy, the Claire Mullins and Clodagh Finn have all played a part, along with Ciara Sullivan, in matches to date. Now Galway have named 3 changes to their published team in the programme, and first one comes in goal, but it's not too much of a change, I suppose. You're switching like for like, and of course a lady that will start in goal today is an all-star winning goalkeeper as well, and Sarah Healy of St. Thomas. She comes in for Fiona Ryan of Ballydoreen. The full back line and half back line remain unchanged. Rachel Hannafy of Oranmore Mary will be in the right corner. At full back, Roisin Black, her clubmate, and then Dervla Higgins will be in the left corner back position from Athenry. It is, of course, the returning Anne-Marie Starr, and what a year she's having since she's returned to the field of play of Killimer. She'll be in the right wing. Anya Keane of St. Thomas is then at centre back, and outside her will be Ciara Hickey of Davits. At centre field then there is a change. Niamh Hannafy is coming in wearing number 26, and she replaces her namesake Niamh Kilkenny there in that position, and Alwyn Rabbit of Athenry will be the other person at a centre field. There's also a change in half forward line where Ali Hesnan comes in for Niamh McPeak. Ali will wear number 21. Either side of her will be Carrie Dolan of Clarenbridge wearing 10, and Sabina Rabbit of Athenry wearing 12, joining her sister, of course, in the team here today. And then, of course, a very dangerous full forward line as it can be under day. Also, Niamh Mallon, what an acquisition she's been for Galway this year. She wearing the number 13 jersey. Orla McGrath of Sarsfields will be at full forward, and then Ailish O'Reilly, who has scored 8 points, 2 goals and 2 points and 1-5 in their last 2 matches of Oranmore Mary. She is a dangerous forward, as well as Cork will attest to. She will line out wearing the number 15 jersey. So just to reiterate, 3 changes for Galway: Sarah Healy, Niamh Hannafy and Ali Heston coming in for Fiona Ryan, Niamh Kilkenny and Niamh McPeak. Cork are unchanged, and that then you'd have to say, Gemma, ask the question, we're looking at things here, you're thinking this is to win a semi-final place, go direct route as possible, but maybe making 3 changes, you're kind of saying, is Cathal Murray deciding that, let's try things out, I'm happy enough if we end up in the quarter-finals?
Yeah, it seems to be something that has appeared in the past before with teams that are in this position. Teams sometimes don't want to lay all their cards on the table, but that's all well and good. I would be much, in the favour of putting a strong outfit there, setting down a marker, and putting the question marks to teams out there going forward. That that whatever team that wins today is going to be a force to be reckoned with. With those 3 changes, you have to say, are you gambling a little bit? Will the team settle maybe into the later stages of the competition? So who knows? Maybe it might work out for Galway, but for me, I'd much rather see a team at this stage in the competition with a more of a kind of a solid a team going forward, so that players know who's left and right, who's in front of them, and that can play with that bit more of a rhythm.
Yeah, and that's something, as you said, that I think buys up so well when you consider, Galway, right, struggled for a time against Dublin, drew with Wexford, and Wexford really came at them late there, and Galway had very little answer. But since then, the big scores over Down and Clare, you kind of wonder, why would you change in a winning formula, and you want to see this 15 out on the field as much as possible.
Yeah, big changes to Galway, I suppose, even from last year. Down, serious experienced players. I think there's about 6 in total. Sarah Dervin, Shauna Healy, Halibert. There's some massive experience there, and you'd be wondering, will that cost Galway this year? But you've got younger players coming up, and especially in the back line. From looking at a few of the games, you've some tenacious players like Dervla Higgins, and Rachel Hannafy, Roisin Black is back, so there's serious tough players in the back line. They'll be laying down a marker today, picking up maybe the likes of Amy O'Connor and Katrina Mackey. But yeah, the championship for Galway has been certainly interesting, with a draw with Wexford and narrowly beating Dublin, so it's quite unpredictable.
Quickly now, because we're going to have a minute silence here for Micheál O'Murray-Hurtig in a moment, but Germany probably hasn't made a whole lot of change. A lot of the 15, they have the serious experience, and there's a number of girls on the bench as well who've got experience this year, but there's also a few household names on the bench also. That kind of solidity or sameness probably helps Cork in lots of ways, especially when you're the reigning champion.
Yeah, look, I think Cork have had a bit more of a flow to this championship so far, and you've got Hannah Looney, who's been coming, on and has been on the bench a few times, but is starting out to start at the later stages in the championship. You've Laura Tracy, that's back from Dublin, so she'll be laying down that marker as centre back. And for me, Laura Hayes is the player of the championship for Cork so far. That athleticism is proven to be very dominant for Cork so far.
Now we're going to pause, as you can hear from the intercom here, a pause for a minute silence in memory of Micheál O'Murray-Hurtig, of course, who passed to his eternal reward during the week and was laid to rest earlier this morning. So a moment's silence here in memory of the great Micheál O'Murray-Hurtig, getting a round of applause as well. And a man who was, of course, the voice of the GA, as we pause here for Oran Naveen. And a decent smattering of people over on the far side. The Cork crew have come out here, and lots of little girls, I'm sure, will be making their way. I saw lots of teams lining up on the way in, and they'll be entertaining us here at half time. But a big clash ahead. Match official in the middle is, of course, Liz Dempsey from Kilkenny, and I think Liz is going to be a busy lady down Cork side. I believe she's up for an All-Ireland under-16 game in the Cork Camogie grounds tomorrow, so maybe she's planning on spending the night down here, but she's in the middle for the big one. Cork, of course, interchanged strip. They got a day out in Park Esler when they defeated Down a few weeks ago. Back out again here today, and Galway in their maroon. 3 changes, as we told you already, for Galway, as the players have encroached all the way in, and Liz eventually gets the ball in, and we're up and running here. And it's Cork that won it with Hannah Looney. The ball is directed straight away in the direction of Mackie. Out in front she goes, trying to get a touch, and you can imagine it's going to be quite greasy underfoot. A lot of drizzle has fallen, lots of water has got down on that soil, and the ball has moved on here. Looked like a throw ball, but Cliona Healy's making light of that, and she puts the ball over the bar for the opening score of the game. Cork meaning business already.
That's a fantastic passage of play there from Cork onto Orla Callahan, and then Cliona Healy over the bar, so it's a good start for Cork.
Good start for Cork. Right from the middle, there's only one Galway player I think has touched the ball, and she didn't have it for that long. So the opening score here then, and Cliona laying the marker down. The ball breaks in the middle, and it's Galway trying to get on it here and move it down the far side with Sabina Rabbit trying to search Niamh Mallon, but she's been well marshalled over there by Pamela Mackey, and it's gone out to the right and wide for an early wide, and that will go down against Sabina Rabbit's name here as they try to get the equaliser. All this happening in the first minute, but opening score from Cliona Healy. The puck out come in from Amy Lee of Napiersic, dropping it over on this far side, and it's a lovely ball, I have to say. Has been able to run onto it there as fullback Izzy O'Regan. Ball was played back, but this time I think dropping to the hurl there as that ball was played back was adjudged to be the foul, and a bit of a giveaway there in a way, considering the amount of space that Cork had. So all the way out to take this free down underneath us here will be Anya Keane, or Kane as they're probably saying, Galway, of the famed St Thomas's club. Anya then just inside her own 65, looking for a little bit of movement. Whatever wind is there, and it's blowing up here, and the rain is swirling in around us on top of us here on our notes and everything, is heading down to the city end as ball is played in that direction, and Mallon out onto this, or Eilish O'Reilly I should say, onto this, looking to have a strike off, but that ball has gone out again to the right and wide. Eilish disappointed with that effort. Don't forget, we'll be trying to keep an eye on the simultaneous games that are taking place. Tipperary are underway against Kilkenny. That's, of course, a group decider and a semi-final winner. And then whoever's remaining in place will be in the quarterfinals next weekend. One apiece on Saturday and Sunday in Croke Park with the hurling semi-finals. As Cork do very well here to try and maintain possession there. Aoife Healy threw a bit of a loose pass, but it was picked up by Hannah Looney, and she gives it back a little bit loose again, but Cork have numbers there, and it's cleared by Laura Tracy down in the direction of Mackie, trying to get a touch on it there, and trying to get it knocked down in the direction of Orla Callahan, but it's breakout here from Galway. Good little bit of play there by Dervla Higgins improvising, but she's robbed of the ball now, and Mackie gets in to try and turn it over. Surely he was being fouled, but Liz Dempsey allowing the play to continue. Foul again? No advantage being given here. Mackie's got to plough on and try and win a possession, and it's emerged into a bit of a ruck. It comes out the back now, and Mackie was trying to be available there if Callahan got a hand on it. Being held up there. Cliona Healy in there trying to do the needful as well, but it's picked up by the sub, of course, that came in, Ali Hesselin. So a bit of position swapping going on for Galway as well. 3 changes they make, and eventually Liz Dempsey has decided that's a free out for Galway, but I could have counted maybe there would have been 2 opportunities at least. Cork could have got a free in there, Gemma.
Yeah, Dervla Higgins Dervla Higgins came out there with a great ball, and you know, she's the type of player there in the back line that you want to be marking Katrina Mackey. She came out but was dispossessed there by Aoife Healy. You know, Aoife Healy is doing this time in again, with, you know, the games playing against Galway last year in the championship. Her ability to dispossess people off the ball is substantial, so we just saw that in the middle of the park there again, so we'll be looking for, you know, the likes of Aoife Healy to be doing that more for Cork.
Yeah, so crowding around there as that clearance came, but eventually the ball was worked down in the direction here of again Ailish O'Reilly, and it was I think Laura Tracy came a little bit of a slap across the knuckles, and it's a free for Carrie Dolan. Has that unusual stance, her back practically to goal, but is effective. 3 points the last day, 7 against Down, 6 against Wexford, as she sends this towards the city end, and that looks like it's over the bar, and she has her first score of the game, Carrie Dolan, and that comes here after 4.5 minutes. Small enough Galway attendance, judging by the applause there. They're probably all tuned in, hopefully watching the action here. And don't forget, simultaneously, Darren Kelly is in the rag for Tipperary and Kilkenny as the ball breaks now, and it's Cork on the move down the far end, and Healy looking to come inside, knocking this ball across and up and over the bar. And in fairness, Cork are finding space on the wings, you'd have to credit them, and they're utilising it very, very well here.
Yeah, they seem to utilise that space a bit better than Galway. They seem to be recycling the ball a little bit better also. So, you know, I think it's important that Galway start establishing a bit of strength here to put their mark on the game. So
Fiona Keating getting that score as Galway trying to play that ball forward, but straight into Hannah Looney's grasp, and she breaks out and goes on a bit of a run down this far side now. Still driving on Looney, now looking to play a ball across. Mackie being well marshalled and sitting there in a bit of a pocket at the minute is Anya Keane. Roisin Black has got touch tight with Amy O'Connor there. I've seen the jersey being tugged a couple of occasions as that ball is now in the hand of Niamh Hannafy offloading it to Higgins, I should say. Higgins then went to play it forward and kind of shimmied on it and gets the ball over here now to Anne-Marie Starr of Killimer. Anne-Marie, of course, back playing after giving birth. And speaking of babies arriving in Galway, we better congratulate, of course, Shauna Healy. I think it was last week, or definitely in the last few days anyway, a baby arrives in that household, so congratulations, Shauna.
Just watching the play there, Killian, Ashton Thompson, you know, having a few words with the referee after putting in what probably looked like a shoulder-to-shoulder tackle, but you know, maybe the physical contact was a bit too much, so it's a free in for Galway now.
Well, it's just a little bit interesting where some physical contact has been allowed to happen and some others has not been allowed to happen at the minute, but we'll wait to see if it all evens out. Thankfully the drizzle overhead has cleared, the atmosphere opening up a little bit, and hopefully it's the last of the rain that we see. I know it was to clear off, and hoping it has from here, but it is made. I think at one occasion you will see the tracks of maybe a little trolley that was brought out on the pitch. You can see that, so it's still on the grass here as Carrie Dolan now. A little bit more difficult, this one has to come in over her right shoulder. Carrie has connected with that. The umpires seem to be running for the flag, and has she tied things up here? She has, after 7 minutes in. You just got to be watching as a half back line or any of those Cork backs. You know, Carrie Dolan's going to be able to knock them over.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving frees away in that scoring position, the likes of Carrie Dolan, you know, which is huge now in Camogie, the free taker, like, so, you know, she'll punish Cork all day long from that position.
Amy Lee went left. The Cork players had all loaded up on this side, and I think that was the ply to get the space over on the far side for Cliona Healy, but it didn't work out and it went to the sideline. So Galway now playing it down along the line, but that's not a great sideline cut, and Cork have won the possession back right in front of the spectators that are over there on the far side. Ball is played into the middle then, looking for a little bit of movement there out of Saoirse McCarthy maybe. We've a lovely position watching the play, but the play unfortunately at the minute over on the far side, trying to pick out some of those numbers. But we do see Cork winning possession over on that far side, and now looking for a bit of movement internally. It's actually, they've gone backwards with it, and fighting it out there, Laura Hayes over on that far side, and eventually over the line, and linesman over on that far side been busy now in the last 90 seconds.
Yeah, Galway might get frustrated here, you know. Niamh Mallon, I don't think, has touched the ball yet, and they'll be anxious to get ball into her, you know. She's been very dominant since the championship, and she's been their star forward, so, you know, it's important to try and get that supply into Mallon for Galway to push forward. Yeah, in the first game she got 10 against Galway, and she got 2-4 against Clare, but she was well marshalled in the Wexford game when he got a point. And that was probably one of the reasons why Wexford were in that game with 10 minutes to go. But Roisin Black now coming out with this ball, looking to play it down in the direction of Ailish O'Reilly, who's had to drop deep to be able to get on a little ball. Here's a shout there from Rabbit. Has to go backwards with it now. Back it goes
Alwyn giving it back to Riley, and then it's back further to Niamh Hannafy, looking to direct it now into the corner, looking for Mallon, but it's going to skip off that surface and win the race to the line. And really not working for Niamh Mallon at the moment. But you can't blame Niamh Mallon. You got to blame maybe the ball that's coming in. So Niamh Hannafy in the game today for Niamh Kilkenny with another wide for Galway, and that comes here after 9.5 minutes. You're watching the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 round 5 encounter between Cork and Galway. Ball down in the direction of Pamela Mackey. Now Amy O'Connor, her first chance to get on the ball, has a runner outside. Here's a chance for Caroline, batted away. Ball is still there on the deck though, not giving up, and the ghost of ball is tapped in, and eventually it's gone wide. Probably a little bit straight at Sarah Healy, and Sarah's not wasting any time getting that puck out on the move there. We'll hear from Gemma's reaction in just 1 second as it's Sabina Rabbit plays it down, but that's well read there by the Cork defence. Probably a little bit too straight at the keeper.
Yeah, Orla will be disappointed with that. I think she could have afforded to take another step or two in towards the keeper, and as you said, it was a shot straight at her, so she'll be disappointed with that opportunity that she didn't bury that to the back of the net.
She came lovely off the shoulder, we have to say, as that ball is played down the far end now, looking for Niamh Mallon. Mackey trying to get in there with Amy Lee. I think she expected Amy to come for it, and then that ball, Mallon not giving up on it. Eventually it worked out in favour of Cork anyway. Goes down as a wide against Niamh Mallon. But I think Pamela might have been waiting for Amy to come for it, and at 6 and 7. But anyway, it's worked out in the end, and it's a wide for Niamh Mallon. 10.5 minutes gone. And don't forget, plenty of action on elsewhere. And early doors yet. Tipperary leading Kilkenny by 4 points to no score is the latest we have there. Kilkenny minus Miriam Walsh this afternoon. We're hearing stories that Miriam may have picked up a leg injury, and really hoping it's not a reoccurrence of her ACL injury, but we wish her the best.
Yeah, I think that'll be an awful loss for Kilkenny if you don't have Miriam Walsh for Kilkenny in the rest of the championship. Superb player, so that's tough. It's not nice to see a player with a recurring injury like that. So we wish Miriam the best.
Well, Tipperary anyway are the ones that are in front there in the rag at the minute. You can watch that game if you want to flick between the two. Maybe there's some people who will be watching both of these matches on multiple screens, as you can do. The Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 round 5 encounter. You're watching now with Cork and Galway, and it is 2 points apiece. The game in the rag, 4 points and no score in favour of Tipperary. That's Group 1, and of course they're the two deciders of the group. Whoever wins will be in the semi-final. The loser goes to the quarter-finals, and of course there's really a situation then we'll have to check in on Dublin. They're fighting it out, of course. They just have to beat Down already relegated, and Derry are in the hunt against Waterford. They're playing each other as well. Derry have to win that game if they were to get into the quarterfinals. That would be some achievement, having won the Intermediate Championship last year. Anyway, back here at Super Value, Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and on the ball is Aisling Thompson, redirecting it here towards Amy O'Connor, but as I said, being well marshalled at the minute, trying to maybe get into a bit of space, and should capitalise on that is Orla Cahalan. She steps inside her marker, Rachel Hannafy, bats the ball inside. Mackey looking to charge forward now, has Amy O'Connor if she wants, elected to go herself, and maybe O'Connor was the out ball because Galway have dealt with that, and on the top of the D are coming out with it. It could have been utilised a little bit better there. Yeah,
that's very frustrating. If you're not in a position to score, that ball needs to be recycled back out, and I think that's disappointing. Katrina Mackey needed to pass that ball to Amy O'Connor, who's in a better position, so that'll be that's a disappointing factor there, that they didn't put that ball over the bar.
Alwyn Rabbit though knocks the ball all the way across the far side of the field, and trying to get there to keep it moving was Thompson, but didn't really get a great connection, and probably should have went down. That had loads of time. On the ground is Sabina Rabbit. Sabina, of course, and Alwyn on the field of play here from Athenry. Laura Hayes picking up that ball. Laura playing a fine game for Cork All Championship, and here she is again today, releasing an opportunity. Her ball is dropping in, but that's gone out badly to the left and wide. Again, a missed opportunity, you'd feel, Gemma, because I think there was space there that Cliona could have went into. Yeah,
Cork are playing against the wind there, and I think that was Saoirse McCarthy, was it, that was going up that left wing.
Sorry.
I think she could have carried that again a little bit further, and just to make sure that she had enough distance to put the ball over the bar, especially against that wind.
There was still another 10 yards ahead of her. Cliona over here now on this side. Cliona Healy battling it out with Hannah Looney, and also trying to get in there is Alwyn Rabbit, and eventually Liz calls a halt and says that there was a bit of I think she's decided to throw the ball in. I thought she was gesticulating that there had been a bit of a wild pull of a hurl there. So in between Ailish O'Reilly and Izzy O'Regan. Is he trying to get out around the referee as well? And Ailish O'Reilly is judged to have overplayed the ball.
Yeah, you can see there Ailish O'Reilly playing very deep. You want those forwards inside, but Galway are struggling to get possession. So I wonder, are they going to drag the likes of Ailish O'Reilly out to supply Malin in forward? But that doesn't seem to be working.
Especially when you're playing with the wind. Not sure it's a tactic that's working well for them at the minute. Anyways, the ball down in the far corner now. Trying to get on it here is Katrina Mackey, but she's been marshalled there by Roisin Black. Anywhere she's gone at the minute, Black is there. Little bit of afters between the two of them as well when that ball went out over the line. Mackey plays it in. Amy O'Connor throws a pop pass back to her, getting away from Dervla Higgins. Lovely ball into O'Connor. Lovely little slalom run inside. Galway official was looking that she overplayed the ball. I think she was just on the step as Mackey anyway. Look at the step inside, and that she does, getting away from the attention of Niamh Hannafy. Look at the play, a pass way too tight though in that corner, trying to find Orla Cahalane. It was just a little bit over ambitious, but Galway have overplayed it here. Rachel Hannafy coming out, and it's going to be Orla Cahalane that's about to take this, knocks the ball inside. Heard the shout coming from Aoife Healy. Healy was coming inside, she was fouled, and it's going to be a free and an opportunity for Amy O'Connor for her first strike at the post here today. It remains 2 points apiece, and you're watching the action here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel. Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5, and it is 2 points apiece. And currently in the rag, we just haven't got an update on the score there yet. Yeah, we have now 5 points to no score. Latest score in the rag. So Tip getting real dominant there against Kilkenny. Kilkenny, of course, will be in the quarterfinals no matter what. They have enough points on the board as Amy O'Connor targets that left hand upright, puts it over the bar, and puts Cork back in front here in Super Value Páirc Uí Chaoimh. That free coming here after 16 and a half minutes. Gemma, what's your thoughts? Yeah,
Cork seem to have all the possession and the dominance, but they're not converting their scores. I know they're playing against the wind, but their decision making to carry that ball a little bit further front is starting to go against them. But they'll be delighted with that free from Amy O'Connor to put another point on the board.
Ailish O'Reilly knocked that ball in. It was batted down by Amy Lee. Niamh Mallon tried to get on it, but dared to do her job was Pamela Mackey, taking the ball away from her, and the former down player struggling there at the minute just to deal with Pamela Mackey. Little jink and jive by Ciara Hickey, looking to settle on her left hand side. It'll be some score if it goes over the bar. That is a fine effort from Ciara Hickey.
That's a super score from Ciara Hickey from the wing back. More of that will be needed by Galway. So a super score again from Ciara Hickey.
But again, probably not dealt with well by the Cork defence there. After the chance from Ailish O'Reilly was snaffled out, I just think they've coughed up a couple of easy scores to Galway.
Yeah, there's a bit of fumbling there and around the pitch with a lot of the players. Spillage ball. So from both teams. So you'll be looking for that to be rectified as the game goes on.
A charge run here by Laura Hayes, settling on it and up and over the bar, and that's a bit more direct. Laura Hayes took it on herself, and I think she couldn't believe she had got away from the Galway attentions and then fired that ball over the bar.
Yeah, both set of sevens exchanging point for point. Again, I spoke about Laura Hayes. Her athleticism is huge, and again, you can just see the way she runs up the pitch, and she has the strength to put the ball over the bar.
Ball in the direction now here of Orla McGrath. Orla has been fairly quiet now in the game, I have to say, and not getting in the situation, and it looks like Cork have turned it over there and getting back there, doing an awful lot of work. Helping out the defences. Izzy O'Regan doubled up there and was able to get that ball forward. Lovely bit of a take there. Aoife Healy is a threat to get away from her. I have to say, Cliona Healy's been involved in an awful lot of physical encounters. She's getting in and winning a lot of dirty ball, back helping out her half back line at the minute. 4 points at 3. Then Cork are playing into a stiff enough breeze that's coming from right to left here. Roisin Black now looking to deliver it long, but again she's out ball looking for Orla McGrath. Again, Cork though have the numbers, and Galway's slow to come into some of those rucks, aren't
they? I think Roisin Black could have spread that ball out the wing to Niamh Mallon. There was a better opportunity for space for her to run into it, so I think that was a bit of a poor decision there.
Again, play by Laura Hayes, knocking the ball forward, breaks out. Here coming on to it now is Amy O'Connor, trying to get away from the attention. Rachel Hannafy went to pop the pass inside, hit the deck, as surely had to be a free in. And Amy is probably calling for a little bit more there. She's probably saying that, ref, I've been fouled so many times. But Rachel Hannafy, you're the cornerback. You were taking the chance there, Gemma. And at the minute, doesn't look like there's going to be a talk. Maybe she will. Liz going to follow up here at the minute. She's going to check on a Galway player that's down injured. But again, Amy showing some of her prowess that she's good for, being able to get onto breaking ball and go at speed. Yeah,
Cork seem to be threatening up front and creating those goal opportunities, but again, they don't seem to be taking them. You just like for them to be a little bit more dominant up front and striking it when that threat when that threat comes up and exposing the Galway back. So I think Cork won't be too happy, I suppose, at the moment, given that they've had a few goal opportunities and they haven't taken them from play.
Yeah, so chances are accruing here, but at the minute not being taken. Just give you an update. Limerick are beating Antrim a goal and 4 points to 4 points. That is a relegation decider. Whoever loses that match will be relegated. It's 5 points to 2 between Clare and Wexford, and it's 6 points to 2 between Tipperary and Kilkenny. It's 1-7 to a point Waterford over Derry. We're just trying to source a score on Down in Dublin, and we'll try and bring that to you at half time. But here it's 4 points to 3. So if those results plan out as they will, it will be Cork and Tipperary into semi-finals. Galway, Dublin, Kilkenny and Waterford will be in the quarter-finals, and relegated will be Down and Antrim. 21 minutes gone. Amy O'Connor then with her second shot at the post to give Cork, for only the second time in the game where they'll have a 2-point lead. They led by 2 points to no score, and that was tracked back by points from Carrie Dolan. Knocked over the bar. Amy O'Connor with her second point, and Cork in front 5 points to 3. Are you happy enough if you're Germanly?
I think so. Look, in some regards, they're leading, but I think, at this stage in the championship, when goals come like that, when the opportunity arises, I think you have to take them, because you don't know what's going to happen in the second half. So I think they'll be a little bit disappointed that they didn't take those goal chances.
Here's Laura Hayes again. Is she ratting on another one?
I think Germanly will be, probably a little bit happy that his team is performing a bit more dominant at the moment than Galway. So if they can keep that going in the second half, then I'm sure there'll be Germanly will be happy at the end.
That's the biggest lead. I had 6 points to 3. Laura Hayes all of a sudden just really exerting herself on this game, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a super player, and as I said, she's a player of the championship for Cork so far. And
there she is again.
She can run up that space all day long and score also. So she's certainly a threat for Cork.
Oh, lovely bit of play on here. Mackey trying to get in on the ball, following in, boots it to the back of the net. Direct play by Cork. Hayes at the front of it again, and it was just play off the shoulder running. Mackey might have wanted to get a swing on it, but intelligent ball fell on the deck and she boots it home.
Yeah, we only just talking about it there, Killian, about Laura Hayes creating those opportunities, and that all came back from Laura Hayes in the back line, running up to the field, into the middle third, creating the overlap, and then Mackey finishing it in the net. So that's super play from Cork. Yeah,
and all of a sudden now they've opened up a 6 point lead very, very quickly. Cork have done that, all matter in the space of 3 minutes on my notes, as Galway now tried to come fighting here, and I have to say Galway have struggled to get the ball beyond the 45, but here's maybe an opportunity now. Orla McGrath trying to get there. Niamh Mallon hasn't seen a whole lot of the ball because doing her job back there is Pamela Mackey, and Laura Tracy out to the far side now trying to get this ball delivered. The young rebels over on the far side quite happy with what they're seeing. Saoirse McCarthy redirects the ball down the middle now, trying to get it here in the direction of Katrina Mackey, who just got that goal. Ball breaks away from her, but onto it coming on is Aisling Thompson, breaking on, looking to the referee. She's getting an advantage. Thompson, time to settle, fires it in and fires it up and over the bar. She was going to get a free anyway, but Cork all of a sudden are heading out the gap here.
Yeah, that's I think that's great refereeing from Liz Dempsey, leaving the play go, giving the advantage, and Cork had that scoring opportunity. So I think that's great refereeing, and you'd like to see more of that in the game. 1-3
Galway or Cork have scored now in just 120 seconds. as Colin Murray looks out to see if there's going to be a change in his back. Definitely one of his defenders is suffering there at the minute. The physio was on the way out, but all of a sudden Cork now exerting their dominance here as the ball in play. It looked like a throw ball there. Eventually they got to Pamela Mackey, but Laura Tracy may be the reason it may have been guilty of a throw, is that she got a wrap on the knuckles. But the ball now down the corner here for Niamh Mallon. Really haven't seen, as he said, the ball get to her, and she's been taken away from that ball again as Pamela Mackey tried to play it out, but a little bit nonchalant with it now. Ailish O'Reilly, if she steps inside, Mallon's inside. Here's an opportunity now. Mallon though has to come back out to get on her favourite left, looking to jink and jive still. Gets the ball eventually to Ailish O'Reilly. O'Reilly tapping the ball up and over the bar. And that's what Galway need to do more of, but they're not doing enough of it.
Yeah, they need to be putting pressure on the Cork backs. I think Galway are playing a little bit too far out and giving Cork that opportunity to come out in the overlap. If you put a little bit more pressure on the full back line and the half back line, they'll stop that overlap with Cork. And they've done that there, and they've got a point as a result. So Galway need to do more of that and put more pressure on the Cork backs.
You're watching the intermediate action in Group 1. Cork defeated Wexford by 114 to 1-5. And if you're a Galway fan, also in Group 1, Galway had a 2-point victory over Offaly, 312 to 116. But 1-7 to 4 points here. There's a stoppage in play as the Cork player is getting attention. We'll try and update some of the scores. We're just waiting for the screen to refresh here, and we'll be able to do that for you. But as things were going, anyway, as I said, it was going to be looking like, with the results the way they were, that Cork and Tipperary were going to be going straight into the semi-finals, with Galway, Dublin, Kilkenny and Waterford in the quarter-finals. And then with the result of the way it was happening between Antrim and Limerick, it looked like it was going to be Antrim would be joining down, being relegated back into intermediate action. So let's 1-5 to 4. That game is that's the current score in that. Limerick are leading Antrim. We have the score here, of course, at 1-7 to 4 points. 5 points to 3. Clare lead Wexford at 7-3. Tipperary and Kilkenny, and Waterford well underway now against Derry, and they're cementing that quarter-final place. They lead 2-9 to 2 points. We'll bring you the Down Dublin score if we can at half time, because that has an impact on just ensuring whether Dublin are going to be in the quarter final. It's getting on the ball now. Saoirse has knocking this ball in McCarthy, but she's pulled it to the right and wide. Bit of a blemish on the last few minutes for Cork. They've been so clinical. And Saoirse has been knocking balls over the bar in all the games to date. As Anya Keane now trying to lead something, because Cork are into, or Galway are into a very strong breeze in the second half. Ball played forward. Looked like a foul on Emery Starr, but she got the ball back. But Cork have turned it over now. Over to the far side it goes, and it's McCarthy getting on the ball again. Getting away from Alwyn Rabbit, knocking it down into the corner, looking for a run here of Amy O'Connor. Lovely control, first touch into the hand, looking to step inside her marker, going inside Amy O'Connor, dropping it in and over the bar. Lovely take from O'Connor, settled herself inside, shrugged off the marker, fine score.
Yeah, great score from Amy O'Connor, plenty of space, first touch, made a decision just to take a step out and put the ball over the bar, so that's a great score for Cork.
Great score, and Cork, as he said, into that strong enough breeze. Now it's blowing one way down on the pitch, and then you see the flags, your wonders going the other way, but it's hitting the right side of my face, so that is where it's coming from at the minute. And but Cork are playing into that at the minute. 1-8 to 4 they lead. Here come Galway down the far end now. Orla McGrath trying to get on that ball, but she looks strangely lethargic out there, struggling to get into the game, as the Galway forwards have done. But McGrath is getting in on this ball now again. Ailish O'Reilly outsider, looking to get in to the left and then the right, and eventually a shot off to nothing though, and it's Laura Tracy there going to be able to mop it up. You're watching the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5 encounter. My name is Killian Whelan, joined on commentary by Cork great Gemma O'Connor, as the ball is over to the far side of Fino. Laura Hayes, what a game she's having. She started this Cork push that has seen them now lead by 7 points, and she's been instrumental in an awful lot of their play so far. Ball over the far side. Liz Dempsey allowing the play to continue as they fight it out over there. Look like a pull of the jersey, but it's being won back by Hayes of all people. Again, it's setting away Orla Cahalane. Opportunity to settle on when she knocked it over the bar. She sends it up high and handsome. Umpires like it. It's over the bar. Good bit of Cork play again, and Laura Hayes all over it.
Yeah, Laura Hayes is instrumental in this game, and she's so dominant for Cork. She's dominating the middle third there, and she created that that scoring opportunity for Orla Callahan. Orla Callahan took the score well, and that'll give her confidence now going forward into this game.
Well, there's no one can stop Laura Hayes at the minute. She's in every nook and cranny of Super Value Park Equive. Pamela Mackey now trying to hold off Niamh Mallon. She seems to have been sent out a little bit to try and get on the ball here as Orla McGrath gets it on here to Carrie Dolan, being very quiet as well here as she tries to get in the attentions there of Maeve Murphy. Well, here comes Carrie now. Will look for a goal, and what a goal it is. Got inside Maeve Murphy, and as soon as she heard Maeve Murphy hit the deck, she had only one thing on her mind. The angle on that was so tight. Gemma, that's a cracking goal.
Yeah, that's a great goal from Carrie Dolan. Again, Galway are putting pressure on the Cork backs there, and are being a little bit more aggressive with them, and they're after reaping the rewards from that now, and that's a cracking goal from Carrie Dolan. So the game is starting to change here again all of a sudden. 1-9 to 1-4 to Cork, only a few points in it.
She had minuscule space to find that in the back of the net, but the ball anyways over here on the far side. Ailish O'Reilly, who has, I have to say, been probably the standout Galway forward here at the minute, giving it to Mallon now looking to jink and jive around and find a pass inside as she does, but it's not a great ball because it's going to be well taken there by Izzy O'Regan, but the referee said that she spotted Izzy O'Regan. I think, was it fouling?
Yeah, I'm not
as
sure.
As the ball came across
that,
there, one definitely spotted a foul anyway by a Cork defender on a Galway player, and Carrie Dolan now, after getting the goal, has a chance to narrow the gap, and I suppose then Cathal Murray will be a bit more pleased going in at half time, because this game was in danger of getting away from them a little bit.
Yeah, all it takes is a score or two just to change things and change the outlook of the game, and all of a sudden now Galway seem to be right back in it. So those moments are providing are being crucial for Galway, and that score for Carrie Dolan, to open up the game like that, was a super take from her, and a super goal, and she's an opportunity now to put a free over the bar here to bring it to 1-5.
Carrie Dolan, I said she might have been quiet since she knocked over a free in 7 minutes, and then she gets the goal, and now she has a free here, ducks this over the bar, makes it 1-9 to 1-5, and there in the quick as a flash, Galway back in this encounter here as we head into additional time. Puck out comes short then here to Hannah Looney. Hannah stepping inside her marker. Here's the shout outside from Izzy O'Regan. Killian Ballygarvin linking up here, and Izzy goes on a long run here now, popping the pass off again. It's off the shoulder. Saoirse McCarthy in a little bit of bother, has to find her way out, extricates herself quite well and gets a nice ball here to Aoife Healy, settling on this, knocking it in, but it's gone out to the right and wide. Bit of a mischance there after a nice build-up play, and I'd imagine Liz now will be calling for the ball shortly as another stoppage for a Galway player down injured. We have had a few stoppages in the game. I'd imagine Germanly happy with the second quarter of the game, but probably won't be happy at the concession of the goal there, especially if it was in a situation that they had control of.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy that Cork eventually took their goal and took the opportunities that came in the first half. But certainly, I think he'll be disappointed with the way Cork kind of let Galway in, and Galway punished that. I suppose Cork were a little bit sloppy in coming out in defence, and as I said, all it takes is a little bit of pressure to put up on the Cork backs, and it created opportunities for Galway. So a goal apiece for both teams, and I'm sure Cathal Murray will be a little bit happier going in at half time.
I imagine so. As you said, look, the game was looking like it was getting away from them. It was 1-9 to 4 points. It's now a little bit more manageable as the ball over the line. Liz keeping an eye on the watches here as we continue to play. Not a great sideline cut there from Aisling Thompson, picked up by Dolan dropping it down in the direction here of Sabina Rabbit, but that goes out to the left and wide. Cork defence on occasion have been on top of the Galway full forward line as that ball breaks out all the way over there to Aoife Healy. Here's a shout from Laura Hayes, and Hayes bringing it up along the wing now, trying to get away from Niamh Mallon, who's dropped a long way back to try and get on possession. Hayes looking to kick the ball inside, and she's still going. Laura Hayes looking to get into a bit of a ruck now, and Cork still looking to fight for possession there. It looks like it may work out though for Galway, but again trying to get in there and get a stick on it was one of the Cork, I think it was Fiona Keating, and eventually the ball broke off a Galway player though, and then he changed his mind. It was going one way, now it is a Galway ball.
Are we after seeing a switch with Niamh Mallon, or is she just after working her way out to the pitch?
She's worked away. Well, she had been kind of switched, I think, with Ailís O'Reilly, and now she followed Laura Hayes there on that occasion.
She seems to be moving back in towards the full forward line.
It's just
a bit of tussle there, between herself and Pam Ackley.
I have to say Pamela is winning that battle so far today anyways. That ball played into the middle and Liz Dempsey has decided we've seen enough. 34 minutes gone, 1-9 to 1-5. A better conclusion for Galway at the end. The goal, a cracking effort from Carrie Dolan. She narrowing the gap, of course, and that free as well, bringing it that little bit closer. But it was that spell of dominance from Cork, 1-4 that they hit from the 17th to the 24th minute that saw them really see themselves. I thought they were heading out the gap, and we were going to be talking here to ourselves nearly for the second half, Gemma. But look, a little bit more of a game of it, but Galway, you'd imagine, are going to find it a bit more difficult because they're into the teeth of that bit of it's a significant breeze here in Super Value Park Queeve.
Yeah, it's interesting. You think with the wind that the team that would have the wind would have all the dominance and put the scores on the board, but Galway are after kind of proving that wrong, and they're after getting a few scores in the last 10 minutes, so you just don't know what's going to happen in the second half. But Cork seem to have the upper edge, but all it takes is a shot or two and a few opportunities up front for the likes of Ailís O'Reilly, Carrie Dolan and Niamh Mallon just to change it all around. So the second half will be certainly very interesting.
Second half will be, it's 1-9 to 1-5 here. Dublin well on the way to the quarter-final. They lead down by 2-11 to 2 points. It's 1-6 to 5 in the relegation battle in Group 1 between Limerick and Antrim. The winner of that will stay up. The loser goes down. It is here, as we said, at 1-9 to 1-5. 8 points to 1-4. Clare and Wexford. Tipperary leading Kilkenny well now, 1-10 to 3. So that's going to cement them in winning that group. There's no question about it. I don't think Tip are going to be caught at that stage, and it looks like Waterford are going to cement their place in the quarterfinals with their 2-9 to 2 points over Derry. So the way things stand at the moment, it's going to be Cork and Tipperary into the semi-finals. It's going to be Galway, Dublin, Kilkenny and Waterford in the quarterfinals. Wexford and Clare and Derry and Antrim, they will be Derry and Limerick will be safe, and Antrim and Down will go down. That's the way it seems to be heading at this moment in time. But as I said, you have the two matches, the tabletop deciders on. If you want to watch the rag, you can keep a check on that as well. Darren Kelly is in the rag for the game between Kilkenny and Tipperary. But here at half time in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5 encounter, it is here at half time. Cork with that burst of pace between the 17th and the 24th minute that saw them rattle over 1-4, has them in front by 1-9 to 1-5. Rejoin myself and Gemma O'Connor for the second half shortly. And you're welcome back here to Super Value Park Equive as Galway come out onto the field of play. Just to let you know then in some of the other scores, the tightest battle is going to be the Waterford and Kilkenny one by the looks of things, because Waterford are narrowing the gap on Kilkenny, and that would mean there'll be a switch in places because it's not head to head in Camogie, it's score difference. So if Waterford were to narrow the gap, I think it's +8 at the minute. If Waterford were to narrow that gap a little bit more, add on a few more points, and Kilkenny concede more against Tip, all of a sudden it'll be Waterford v Dublin and Galway against Kilkenny in those quarterfinals. That's if all those results lay out. And here's Aoife Healy getting straight on as Cork started off so well in the first half. Going to do something similar here. She gets all the way to the edge of the square, and then it's O'Connor. Oh! Now, if Carrie Dolan, from the angle she was at, how did Amy O'Connor score that?
Yeah, look, to be fair, Aoife Healy, you have to give her credit. She cut the defence there of Galway wide open all the way through the centre, passed it off to Amy, and you know how she scored from that tight angle. It was a superb goal.
She gets it in from an impossible angle anyway. There's Amy O'Connor, and she's added to her strike partner in the front row there in the goal now as well, and that's a perfect start. And now Galway, if they weren't climbing a hill, they're climbing a mountain now. As getting on this ball is Cliona Healy. Looking to jink and jive inside. Ball hitting the deck. And a perfect start in for Cork at the start of this second half. Here come Laura Hayes now again, and it's Mackie looking to step inside, and she's smelling blood, I think. Mackie though elects to come back out after she was held up, tap it over the bar. Katrina Mackie adds to her goal in the first half with that point. That's a perfect start for Cork. You could see there Katrina, I think she was thinking goal again, wasn't she, when she kind of jinked inside on her right?
Yeah, I think she had goal in the mind, but I think she came up a blockade of Galway defenders, so she decided to cut back out and give herself a little bit of space and pop it over the bar. Yeah,
first yellow card of the game. Looks like it's gone to Dervla Higgins, I think was involved there in that fouling on Mackie. There's a ball down into the corner. Looked like a push in the back on Galway's number 12, Sabina Rabbit, but she got herself up off the ground and gets inside. Maeve Murphy now and plays that ball inside. Was expecting maybe someone coming from deep, but Mallon wasn't able to get onto that ball, and she's having a difficult enough day out there. Niamh Mallon, ball breaks, so, and coming on to it, Ailish O'Reilly. She knows where the back of the onion sack is as well, looking to get away from the attentions of the Cork defence there. Carl Murray has his hands up in the air looking for something, but eventually it's going to be ruled that it's a free out. Laura Tracy quite happy with her defence there, that the way they dealt with that. But again, Ailish O'Reilly, similar to O'Connor at the other end, can just be able to on to things like a light, and had to be held up there, but referee decided it was a foul then eventually, and Cork worked this out with goalkeeper Amy Lee playing it short over here this side to Laura Hayes. 2 points for an aim, and as I said, got that Cork push going in the second half first half with that point after 18 minutes. That looked like a foul on
that looked like a push there. But she's leaving a play, the referee's leaving a play.
Amy O'Connor tried to play it off her Galway opponent there, but the referee said she brought the ball over the line, or the linesman did, but yet the flag is up in the air. Is he giving it to Galway? Yeah, I just thought the way the flag was positioned, wasn't exactly sure. So sideline cut as Ciara Hickey got a fine score in the first half, gets it to Niamh Hannafy knocking the ball forward now, and looked like a foul there was committed on Orla McGrath. And Galway full forward line now going to have a difficult enough second half, not only with that Galway or Cork defence, but into that wind as well. They were starved of possession in the first half. They really only finished quite strong with a cracking goal from Carrie Dolan and that point from a free that narrowed the gap to 1-9 to 1-5, but that's been eradicated now by the goal from Amy O'Connor and the point from Katrina Mackie. So here is Carrie Dolan, 1-3 to her name so far, standing over this ball, as she said, with her back completely to goal. That's her stance. It works out effectively, but not on this occasion because it's been pulled to the right and wide. Second wide in quick succession. So 2-10 to 1-5. Germany going to be happy. It looks like Galway are going to make a double substitution here. Looks like Niamh McPeak might be coming in, and Niamh Kilkenny.
Yeah, Killian, you can see them warming up down at the sideline. You'd be wondering, will Colin Murray try to finish strong and put a bit of a dent to Cork's lead? So you should see them coming up, I'd say, in the next few minutes.
Anne-Marie Starr got all the way to the 20-metre line and then went to pop the pass back, but Niamh Mallon wasn't ready for it, and this ball is going to work its way out here to Laura Hayes. Lovely take by Hayes, looking to step inside the attentions of Orla McGrath, opens up the shoulders and pops the pass inside to Maeve Murphy. Maeve takes the hit and moves the ball on to the middle to Aoife Healy, back to Hayes, and this is good moving here now from Cork, trying to get a ball forward to Cliona Healy. Healy's having a fine game, been involved in an awful lot of physical encounter out there, getting involved in the ruck, couldn't keep control of that ball, and then Laura Hayes tried to disrupt the movement here of Roisin Black. Black continues to go though. Orla Cahalane getting involved. Amy O'Connor looking to keep the ball in play, and she did that very, very well. Amy O'Connor one-handed batted it off from Roisin Black's foot out for a sideline ball. Roisin Black appealing for it, but there was no question about it, came off her foot and out for a sideline for Cork.
Yeah, you can see Cork are well up for this there, Killian. They're celebrating the little wins there. The sideline to Cork as it came off one of the Galway players' legs. So you can tell that they're highly motivated coming into the second half. Not
a great cut by Saoirse though, as the ball is recycled by Galway, but it's Laura Tracy there sitting in the pocket, giving a note to Thompson. Thompson time to settle, gets rid of it before Niamh Mallon came up on her back, trying to get it over here towards Katrina Mackey. A goal and a point to her name, but she's held off it there by Dervla Higgins. Has that yellow card now on her name as well, looking to skip inside, has support, but she's still going. Higgins down along that line, getting very, very tight, lost control of the ball, win it back and then lost control of it again. Has it been turned over here? It's on the deck and Liz Dempsey decides to going to throw the ball in because it wasn't going to be able to advance, and the play here has called to a halt. The Cork players continuing to truck on here as Galway make ready to make that double substitution. Looks like it is going to be Niamh McPeak then in the game along with Niamh Kilkenny. Niamh, of course, returning to the Galway fold this year, also after giving birth to a baby. She's back in the field of play, and it looks like it's going to be a triple substitution. In fact, they've gone to the book for another one, and it looks like it's going to be number 22, Niamh Nyland, who got 3 points against Dublin and a point against Wexford. The Clarence Bridge player is about to come in to the field of play here, but Cork are the ones though worrying about stuff between the white lines, and they direct this ball over here towards Orla Cahalane. Ball is played forward. Referee though spotted something. Foul. Where is she going to give the free from? We're going to wait now, and Liz, I don't know whether it was after the play or is she calling it back, but anyway, Galway look like they're going to make these triple substitutions anyway. McPeak got 4 points the last day against Clare, 3 against Down, and she got 1 in the opening game against Dublin. Niamh Kilkenny has also been on the board as well a couple of times against Wexford and Down. And as I said to you, Niamh Nyland, this is a lady I've been told, a young player to keep an eye out for in Galway. So it looks like Orla McGrath is definitely one player that's coming off. It looks like Sabina Rabbit is another. And
with those two substitutions there with Galway, Killian, kind of, I suppose, highlights the fact that Cork, the likes of Maeve Murphy and Katrina Mackey are kind of doing their jobs in the back line, and they're tightening up that scoring opportunity from the Galway forwards.
No question about it, and that ball is knocked in and up and over the bar. Another score for Cork. Galway getting this ball out now. 2-11 to 1-5. As I said, it's going to be a bit of a mountain to climb for them. The worry that Colin Murray would have is that this performance kind of thrown back to their Dublin and Wexford performances, where they didn't really put the sides away. Easy enough wins against Down and Clare. Struggle against Clare in the early stages, and then eventually opened up the shoulders. But Cork are really dealt with them here today as the ball is knocked forward, trying to get it to Amy O'Connor. Cork haven't had too many wides, but that goes down as a wide there against Aoife Healy. 39 minutes gone. It's the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5 encounter. Cork well on the way to cementing the victory and the winning the group stages of this championship. That'll bring them on to 15 points, and it's a fair total, 5 wins, and they'll be straight into the semi-final, and they'll be able to sit back and watch all the action from Croke Park next Saturday and Sunday. The only thing that looks like it's going to be of interest will be which one of those quarterfinals will be played out, because Waterford are making inroads against Derry and things not going so well for Kilkenny against Tip. And that may decide the quarter-final placings, who plays who. But it will anyway be Galway, Dublin, Kilkenny and Waterford, the way things are going at the minute. Laura Hayes anyway. They're going to play the ball forward, but that looked like Niamh back peak. Again, there's a challenge that I still feel that the Camogie Association in the rule book have to sort out. Laura Hayes standing her ground, Niamh back peak, runs into her. I can understand why Laura Hayes then is probably saying, what did I do wrong there? But anyway, Carrie Dolan is standing over this free. Will she elect to go for it? I imagine she will. But she did miss one from an easier angle at the start of this second half. So this one a little bit more difficult. But she looks like, she's pulled it across the goals. This one probably allowing too much for the wind on that one, and it's another wide for Carrie there. What do you think of Gemma?
Yeah, I think the wind is after dying down there now, so it's going to have an effect on the free takers out there. They might have to readjust their frees, given that the wind's after dying down, so it's a little bit unpredictable weather-wise. But Cork certainly have started off very well, have had the dream start, and we just saw a tackle there now from Roisin Black. I'm not sure if it was a frontal tackle or was it to the shoulder, but I think it's one of the Cork forwards down. Is it Amy O'Connor? Not too sure, but Liz Dempsey
looks. Saoirse,
is it Saoirse? Yeah. Liz Dempsey seems to be taking out the notebook here, so Roisin Black could be in trouble here.
Well, there's been there's no question about it. Some of the challenges over the game have been tetchy enough. There's been raps on the knuckles and different digs and everything. The way Liz is talking here now, Roisin Black could be in a bit of trouble here. Yeah,
and to be fair to Liz, I said in the first half she left the game flow, and you'd like to see that flow continue. She's starting to kind of blow the whistle a little bit more in the second half, but you spoke about the rules there in terms of tackles and somebody that's standing their ground. So I suppose referees just need to be a little bit kind of more consistent in terms of that. But Roisin Black's after picking up a yellow card here now anyways.
Yeah, so yellow card for Roisin Black for that challenge. And the way Liz was talking to Roisin, I think maybe she was just asking her to watch herself. I thought she was going to be in red card territory, but as I said, Saoirse McCarthy was stepping inside and Roisin came across and met her, as it looks like Saoirse McCarthy is going to come in for Orla Cahalan by the looks of things. And we've two former Down players on the field, one at either end. How much would they mean for Down? I wonder if both of them were still playing for them.
That's a huge loss for Down. Two vital forwards. McCartan, a physically strong player. Malin, a vital forward executioner of the forward prowess for Down. Down have to be struggling without those two players.
Yeah, it's no wonder maybe that they are relegated, of course, ahead of this final game. Here's the free then from Amy O'Connor. Try to pull it to that left hand upright, but it's gone off to the left and wide, starting to mount just a little bit for both teams. Maybe the tempo in this game is petering out a little bit, but there's still, as I said, little niggles out there, so I can imagine these two will feel they'll meet each other at some point in the remainder of the summer. So there's still a few marks to be left here as Cliona Healy looks to have a shot off the pole. There'll be some score if it goes over his tail and in. Oh, what a score! Caught it lovely. Obviously allowed the breeze to carry it as well. Lovely score from her.
Yeah, that's a super score from Cliona Healy. Just prior to that, Aoife Healy, fielded the ball, plucked the ball out of the air, and Aoife Healy is playing superbly there throughout this game. So that's a great passage of play from Cork.
Absolutely. As they add on to their score now, 2-12 to 1-5, and Galway haven't scored in this second half. It was at half time 1-9 to 1-5. Cork getting the perfect start with that goal from Amy O'Connor and followed up by a point from Pamela Mackey that really then cemented things for them. They were on to 2-10 and they've just chipped away as they break out from defence again with Hannah Looney popping the pass here to our last point scorer, Cliona Healy. and Galway were able to break out with it. But Galway, despite the triple substitution, they've really struggled to get those players into the game, haven't they?
Yeah, I've yet to see Niamh Kilkenny on the ball, and she's certainly somebody that you want to get on the ball to try and change or take a bit of leadership, take the game by the scruff of the neck, or do something for Galway. Cork are after winning a free here now, and you can see the fist bump by Laura Tracy, so Cork are well up for this.
I'll just give you an update on the scores then that are happening in the other games. So it is Dublin cementing that quarter-final place. They're 3-11 to 2 points up against Down. Limerick, they look like they're going to be safe. They're sending Antrim down. It's 2-11 to 10 points with a quarter of an hour to go. Although, it is said a goal goes in there now for Antrim that could spell different. 2-12 to 1-5 here. It's Clare 1-10, Wexford 1-7, Tipperary 1-12 to Kilkenny 9. Getting a little bit tighter there. So I would imagine, despite Waterford beating Derry 3-12 to 5 points, Kilkenny may have enough in the scoring difference to remain in second place. That would mean the quarterfinals next weekend, if they stay as they are, would be Galway, Waterford, Kilkenny v Dublin. So you can imagine that the Kilkenny Camogie match will be on ahead of the Kilkenny senior hurling game, so you can work in your calendar then next week for that. As Kilkenny, mention of the county, mention of the players, she finally gets on the ball and play the ball into the middle, and eventually Galway send it down this direction, trying to get Malin on it, but again she gets a little bit of a challenge there, and it's Laura Hayes this time, with Niamh Malin standing over this one now after Kerry missing two, as Niamh decided to take this one. And again, very unusual that Niamh Malin would go through a game without scoring. As Cork introduce a substitution, it looks like number 27 is in. That's Ciara O'Sullivan, the Newcestown player, got a goal against Dublin, and she is on. And it looks like, is it Cliona Healy, I think, went off there, is it?
Yeah, I think it's a swap there for Cliona Healy.
Yeah, so Ciara O'Sullivan is in. And Cliona had a fine game, 2 points, got the opening score of the game, and that fine score there just a couple of minutes back. She is replaced there. As Niamh Malin sends that in the exact same direction as Carrie Dolan. It's gone out to the left and wide, which is unusual considering the wind. They seem to be targeting wide at left hand post, but anyway, they're the free takers. They know better than me. I'm sitting above here in the press box, quite cosy at the minute, as this ball is played down into the corner, looking for the run of Niamh Nyland there, but she's well held off there by Maeve Murphy, and that's gone out as a wide against Alwyn Rabbit. Tempo dropped.
Yeah, it's a little bit lacklustre here, and you feel that Galway kind of need to start upping the tempo here. You need Niamh Kilkenny, Ailish O'Reilly, Carrie Dolan and Niamh Malin to get on ball here, and but it doesn't seem to be happening. Cork seem to be closing down their defences, and Cork seem to be that bit stronger at the moment.
And they are well in control at 2-12 to 1-5. Amy O'Connor definitely being pulled there by Roisin Black. And Roisin was using the cover of the other Galway player to do it, and I think Liz Dempsey's gone in to say to her, you're on a ticket now for a red card because she's on a yellow. I think she's just giving her a warning there.
Yeah, and it's a tough position to be in, as a full-back, the number 3, like on a yellow card, and after be given a warning, it means that you're attacking, or the way you can attack players or defend means that you have to be very careful. So she'll be treading on a thin line from here on in.
Thin line indeed, as we're just looking at the situation now of Amy O'Connor just getting a bit of attention. It was just a pull of a jersey. Colin Murray having words down below here with a couple of his backroom team. Two sizable backroom teams, of course, with Cork and Galway listed in the programme here. So Amy O'Connor standing over this, got a goal, of course, at the start, the second half, and a point followed afterwards, and now she has notched up another score after 49. Amy O'Connor's total now 1-5, equals her tally that she got against Clare. Puck out to come then from Galway, who looked like they've put Fiona Ryan. Did we miss that? Fiona Ryan, where number 1 is in goal anyway, as Niamh Mallon. Has she got a score? She has. And as I said to you, she doesn't normally get through a game without getting on the scoreboard, and that's a good score from her. She got away from the attentions of Mackie and Hayes and was able to knock that ball over the bar. She's out here now in the half-forward position, taking on Laura Hayes here. So on the ball, on the move again for Cork is number 27. That's Ciara O'Sullivan. Getting it in here in the direction of Katrina Mackey. Oh, breaks the goal. Saoirse McCartan in there trying to get a dig on it as well. Number 11 there, Fiona Keating, but it's Galway to come away with it with Ciara Hickey. Hickey though well tracked there by Keating. It's the other number 11 trying to get in and help there as well was Niamh McPeak. Ball down along here towards Mallon, looking to get away from the attentions of Laura Hayes, giving it off to Eilish O'Reilly. Eilish sees that ball flicked out of her hand and gets back on the ball, giving it now to Niamh Nyland. Nyland in field it goes, trying to get it to Carrie Dolan, has a goal and 3 points to her name, tries to shuffle it away there from Pamela Mackey, but she using all her expertise getting that ball out here. Lovely take there by Thompson looked right and went left trying to find Amy O'Connor, but it was well read there by the Galway defence. Connor not giving up on it, and I think she again got it off the Galway defender there, and it's going to be another sideline cut. And I will credit Amy O'Connor, might be diminutive in stature, but she absolutely never gives up on a ball, does she, Gemma?
Yeah, Aoife Kane came across there, cut out the space, to be fair, but Amy snuck in from behind and got the flick and dispossessed the Galway backs, and now Cork are after scoring because of it. So it just shows that when the forwards work really hard to dispossess, it proves to be very vital. A
cracking score from Saoirse McCarthy. She's threatened it a couple of times in this game, and she got taken out of it with a shoulder about 5 minutes ago, but she's got in there and took that score well, and adds on a score of 2-14. If you're Carl Murray, I would have to say you're concerned going into the quarterfinals next week now. Surely you've scored 1-6 and there's another wide.
Yeah, you have to, as I said, Galway are very lacklustre. They're not the same, pacey, tenacious, energised Galway team that you'd expect. And, you don't want to be coming into the latter stages with question marks. So, I wonder, do all these changes that, all the changes after making throughout the championship, is that proving to be of concern for Carl Murray now coming into the latter stages?
Number 17, Alana Kelly of Portumna, is about to come in. I imagine they're looking at a change maybe in the full back line. Are they? Cork making 2 changes as well. Number 21, Hayley Ryan of Blackrock, is coming in. She got a point against Down. And number 25, Claudia Finn, she got a goal against Wexford and 3 points against Down. They're coming in. And I think Saoirse McCarthy is one, and Katrina Mackey is the other that have been replaced. So Ger is quite happy with the performance here, and he's deciding to make the changes on 53 minutes and give a little bit of experience again to Hayley Ryan and to Claudia Finn. Galway still waiting to make their change there. So I think number 17, Alana Kelly, has gone in. Ciara Hickey, has she come off as well? So there has been changes there for Galway. See Ciara Hickey down below us here, and it looks like it's Roisin Black, so not taking any chances that Roisin might get a card or anything like that. Oh, Galway making 2 changes there, just waiting to verify the second one. The game, as we said, has petered out. The goal, from a Cork point of view, for a spectacle, it didn't help, that early goal, did it?
No, I suppose it broke Galway's momentum when they looked like they were going to climb back into the game, and Cork's start in the second half was ferocious with 1-1 in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game. So
here's a chance. The ball got all the way through there to Nyland, and it's put up and over the bar by her, and if she'd maybe backed herself, she could have got inside the Cork defence a little bit, but point there for Galway.
Yeah, you'd be hoping to see more of that from Galway. First time touches. Yeah, first time touches straight over the bar and take their opportunities.
Ball is over here on this far side then, as Cork tried to keep it in play there, but unfortunately the line won the race there for Hayley Ryan. 3-11-2 Dublin lead, Down 2-13 to 2-11 with 2 minutes to go between Limerick and Antrim. That's the relegation decider. That's becoming a right tussle in that game. Limerick look to be home and hosed, but it's all of a sudden tightened up in that one. 111 to 1-8 Clare and Wexford. Kilkenny have come fighting back in the second half against Tip, so that definitely will guarantee them second place. They're 112 to 12 down, and Waterford 3-13 to 5 points up against Derry. So the quarterfinals will be Kilkenny, Dublin, Galway and Waterford by all my reckoning, but of course that'll be all verified. But it is supposed to be second and third, and Waterford, even though have a serious now scoring difference, they haven't, I don't think, eaten enough into the one that Kilkenny had. But I will verify that at the end. But there are the four teams anyway. But the big battle is that Antrim and Limerick encounter, and that's the one we'll have to keep an eye on now in the last few minutes. Who's going down, Antrim or Limerick? A goal there from Annie Lynn actually narrowed it to just 1 point in a battle. So Roisin McCormack and Annie Lynn have got 2-1 to a point for Limerick in the last few minutes to narrow that gap into the closing stages. So 2-13 to 2-11. It's ball in Limerick's court at the minute, but it is getting that a little bit tighter in Rathkeale. We're calling Gemma now to keep an eye on a player of the match as we head in. We'll be making a presentation, and do stick with us. We'll be getting down as quick as we can to pitch side to hear from the management teams and the player of the match. 2-14 to 1-7, double scores. I don't think I would have foreseen that it was going to end like that before we came here today, as Cork tried to get on this ball. But unfortunately for Cork, they haven't been able to maintain possession, and here come a bit of a strong run now from Dervla Higgins, looking to pass the ball into the direction of Alana Kelly, but it's well tracked back there all the way.
Dervla Higgins making a super run up, to be fair to her, but again, no options up front then for her to lay off the ball, and met with a Cork wall of defence, so Cork have to turn it over.
I think it was
again.
Looney got the turnover. Yeah. As ball is on with Amy O'Connor here. O'Connor looking to keep control of it, but the referee says that she was being fouled, and a pull back there by Anne-Marie Starr, and I think Anne-Marie might be getting a yellow card here. Amy down at the minute, and she's got a lot of attention today. I think this is the second or third physio visit to her. Liz is not happy with whatever Anne-Marie Starr was doing, so obviously there was some use of the hurl there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. It didn't look as bad, didn't look that bad, but I'm sure Liz Dempsey is a lot closer to the play than what we are. So Amy O'Connor seems to be in a spot of bother there.
Yes, I wonder. Saoirse McCartan is coming out here, and wondering, is the physio calling for a change maybe? I don't know if Amy got a dig in the side or got a knock on the hand or whatever it was, but anyway, Anne-Marie Starr, she didn't have a yellow card to her name, but she did get a talking to from Liz Dempsey. So you are watching the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5 encounter from Super Value Park Equive, where it looks like Cork are, no question about it, going to book their place in the semi-finals, and they will have 5 wins from 5, 15 points they'll finish with. Galway will be on 10, Dublin will get to 9, and they'll be in the quarter-finals. It looks like Clare are going to beat Wexford, so that will see Clare jump over Wexford, and a bit of a disappointing end for Wexford when you consider they had drawn with Galway. That loss to Dublin really seemed to put the hex on them a little bit, even though they had a big win the last day, and they down, of course, already relegated. Tip are going to win, although it's going to be tight there. They'll go on to 15 as well, so 5 from 5. Kilkenny will stay on 10. Waterford will get to 10, but on scoring difference they will be separated. Kilkenny will stay second and Wexford will be in third. Derry then will of course remain. Their season will be done, as that one went wide there from Amy O'Connor. But it's the battle between Antrim and Limerick that's going down to the wire. Antrim, after mounting a huge fight back into the closing minute there, and it's still 2-13 to 2-11, so it looks like Limerick are doing about enough to hold off the battle. You'd have to be disappointed in Galway's performance. 1-7, 2 points in the second half. Aoife Healy getting onto this ball, looking to get away from Eilish O'Reilly, settling on the ball, and Aoife Healy fully deserving of that point for her performance today.
That's an amazing score. I was actually watching Aoife Healy before she got the ball. Her movement off the ball is unbelievable, creating space and gave, created that opportunity for the overlap, and just took her point so well. She's playing superb today.
Superb play from her as Galway come hunting now for something. 2:15 to 1-7, and it's a very, I'd have to say, professional performance from Cork. They got that grip on the game, Gemma, around the 18th to the 24th minute, scored 1-4, and that, of course, just, I know they conceded a goal and a point just before half time. What a take, you'd have to credit there. That take by Clodagh Finn. But that was the decisive factor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Conor gets inside here.
Here we go, Conor in.
Oh, was she thinking that top corner?
Should have
taken away
maybe
there by
indecisive whether
Fiona
to go
Ryan.
for a goal. But yeah, it's Cork certainly laying down the gauntlet here, being very dominant, highly motivated, and that's what you want from a team at this stage, at the closing stage of the groups. And you certainly don't want to be taking chances of going in the back door, or of going into the quarterfinals. You want to be dominant, and you want to have teams fearful of meeting you going into a semi-final. So that's certainly what Cork are doing here today. You'd be just expecting a little bit more out of Galway. They've certainly just the energy levels have dropped, and they're a little bit disappointing in the second half.
Yeah, coming into the closing stages, just to tell you that Clare have defeated Wexford by 115 to 111, so a bit of a disappointing end there to Colin Sunderland and Wexford season. They finish on 4 points. Clare go on to 6 then, 115 to 111. Neither of them will have any further mood in the championship, though. That game has come to an end. 315 to 6, it's the latest score with Waterford and Derry. 114 to 14 in the Rag. It still sees the Tip will have enough there to finish table toppers. It's 215 to 1-7 here, 213 to 211 still in Rathkeale. Dublin have got 419 against Down. That's a fairly significant boost for them heading into the quarter-final placing, and they're going to fear no one either. You would feel now like, of all the teams going in, Kilkenny in touch there, and you'll never doubt them or write them off at all. They're going to play Dublin. Galway are going in against Waterford. Waterford coming off a back of a big win against Derry today. Galway are coming off of this here in Cork. Waterford, or you'd have to say Waterford not going to fear Galway. Yeah,
and I mean, I watched the Munster final with Cork and Waterford, and Cork certainly didn't get it their own way for the whole 90 minutes. So, after the final last year in 2023, Waterford will be looking to put their stamp on this year's competition. So it'll be no easy feat to be playing Waterford, for Galway.
Gemma, when we have a break in play, our players of the match, stepping out, number of players, we might just mention Galway firstly. Probably Dervla Higgins had a good game. You'd say Ciara Hickey maybe on that side of the field, and maybe Ailish O'Reilly. They're probably the three for me that would stand out in maroon. For Cork, there was a number of players stood out.
Yeah, I think coming into this game, I had Dervla Higgins kind of earmarked. She's a tenacious player, very hard to mark, and then she's been certainly the standout player for me for Galway. In terms of in Cork, you have a number of them. That's at the first half, Laura Hayes, but for me, for the whole duration of the game, the turnovers, the hard work, cutting through that Galway defence, I think Aoife Healy for me is my player of the match.
Okay, so well done to Aoife Healy, player of the match, and got that score, as we said, deserving of it, was involved in so much, and you can see her down just there at the back of the ruck wearing that number 9 shirt. In about 5 minutes time she'll be receiving the player of the match. Little bit of a concern, I think, over on the far side. Was it Dervla Higgins was taken off? I'm really hoping it's no, she's standing up now and everything's okay, so I was hoping we weren't looking at a more serious injury, but I think it is Dervla. It was the number 4 jersey that went off over on that far side. I have to just double check now that in a minute, but anyway, there's Hayes in again, digging in.
That is super fighting spirit from Cork. You can see Hayes just wanted that ball in that ruck of maybe, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 players, and she came out with that. So that's super play there from Laura Hayes.
I tell you, every one of the Galway players that she's come in contact with today, I'll be glad to see the back of her this evening anyway.
yeah, she's a feisty player, you know, very physical, very athletic, and you know, she's somebody that you wouldn't like to be marking.
Absolutely not. They brought out Niamh Mallon to try and get her on more ball, and I think she got 1 point all right, but Laura Hayes has made sure she knows she's there anyway ever since. As Hayes comes up to this now, doesn't get a great connection on it, but it's going to drop on the edge of the square. Its ball falls back into the hand there, was it, of Hayley Ryan, and up and over the bar for her. She got a point against Down, now she's got a point against Galway, and that comes here after 65 minutes. Let you know Amy O'Connor has slipped off the field as well. There was a Cork sub went in, just failing to see which one number it was. I think it might be Emma Murphy that went in for her. We've had a bit of stoppages, so that's why we're still motoring on here towards this 66 minute mark. 2:16 to 1-7 again. Have to say, didn't see this scoreline. And despite the fact that Galway started without three of their named in Fiona Ryan, Niamh Kilkenny and Niamh McPeak, they introduced them, and they've failed to add an injection. So just goes to show you, Jimmy, that maybe the last couple of weeks for Cork, as we call it full time, there it is, 2:16 to 1-7. Have Cork got the run at the right time?
Yeah, I think the rhythm to their championship has been a little bit more settling compared to Galway. I was kind of worried after the Munster final, coming into the start of the championship, were they feeling a bit tired after, you know, a very hot Munster final day. But you know, they've certainly shown their dominance here against Galway, and you know, this will be but you know, be very confident. They'll only feel very confident going forward, and I'm sure there'll be a happy camp, and you know, the training sessions from here on in will be enjoyable, and they'll be looking forward to a semi-final spot.
From a Cork point of view, or a Galway point of view, you'll never write them off, but the situation is that has to be a chastening defeat. I don't care, you know, when you're this close now to All-Ireland finals and everything like that, you know, 2:16 to 1-7 is a big beating. Yeah,
I was a little bit worried that, you know, Cork and Galway were going to come in today and that it'll be a bit tight and a bit lower scoring, and it proved to be the opposite. You know, Cork certainly got their way in scoring 2:16 against, you know, a top tier team, and I don't know, Galway look a bit flat, a bit disjointed, but as you said, you never write them off, and they can be a different animal at the quarter-final stages.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Right, we're going to take a halt there. Gemma will be coming with me. We'll be talking on the sideline, so folks, stick with us here at full time then. Big win for Cork, the reigning All-Ireland champions, 2:16 to 1-7. We'll talk to you shortly from Pitside. by, of course, Hilda Breslin, who's going to present the Player of the Match award. So thanks indeed, Hilda. And Aoife, congratulations. I'm just feeling the wind here. It was fairly significant. So that performance, the big score that you put up, that wind, the way you played in the first half is what I'm trying to get at, was obviously important for the victory overall.
Yeah, I suppose when you're against the wind, you're just trying to keep tipping over your scores and running the ball. In the first half, we kind of ran the ball a lot, and then we knew in the second half we'd have the wind and we could take our long-range scores then. And
for you, you're directed an awful lot of traffic in the middle of the field. You're getting our player of the match because we felt you were on the cusp of everything. There was a spell in the middle of the first half where you kind of went for broke. You got 1-4, I think, in about 7 minutes. That probably ultimately won you the game, didn't it?
Yeah, I suppose we kind of, coming in from half time, we just wanted to work on our work rate. We wanted to push up on them so they got nothing easy. So we just said we'd go at it straight from half time, and that was kind of our goal.
And you went at it then straight after again with that goal then from Amy. That probably then put the game to bed as such.
Yeah, it was a bit of a comfort blanket, and then we could all kind of relax a small bit, and it was less chaotic then. We could kind of keep pushing on and tipping over our scores. For
yourself, you're our player of the match. You cementing a place in this side. How important is the last few weeks been for you?
I suppose, yeah, we had a few games where we won quite well, so I suppose this was kind of the main test now. To see kind of where we were in our championship. I think everyone's fighting for a place now at this stage, and it was just to get the performance really.
Aoife, you're coming in as All-Ireland champions. There's obviously an awful lot of pressure on that, but you seem to have thrived on it, judging by performances in the last while.
Yeah, I suppose we kind of feed off the pressure, and we have a lot of people backing us now. I suppose we had a good crowd here today, and that kind of thing will be driving you on to win the double.
And the thing is, to win that double, I'm sure you'll be thinking you'll be meeting Galway at some point, but you have the likes of Tipperary now, and Waterford's and Kilkenny's that won't be far away, and Dublin obviously as well. But you have a chance to sit back and watch all them go toe-to-toe next week. Yeah, having the few weeks now, we have time, I suppose, to watch, see how they're doing, while also getting our work done. We'll put in a good shift now for the next few weeks, and we'll be all set then 3 weeks' time. Well, congratulations to you, and we wish you the best luck in the semi-final. Aoife Healy, thanks indeed for joining us here and our player of the match. Gemma, when we get you away from the gossip and there that's going on, we'll bring you across because I'm going to get Ger, if I can, in a minute. He's over in a huddle of lads here. Aoife Healy, how important is she maybe to this Cork team? We're looking up the camera up here. How important is she to this, how would I put it, this Cork team and the way they've developed in the last maybe couple of weeks? Because I'm just thinking of, they're All-Ireland champions. There's obviously a certain amount of pressure, but there's a number of girls have started to maybe cement positions now nearly in this team, isn't there? Yeah, I don't know what to say about her. She's everywhere. She's athletic, she's strong, she's fast. But for me, it's her sheer hard work, her desire to intercept, play, to dispossess opponents, and she seems to be everywhere, and especially in a game where the midfielders or the midfield players seem to get overlapped in play. She seems to be everywhere. She's in the half back line, she's up front. You can see there the way she cut through the Galway defence, so she's just a superb player and is a vital cog, a vital asset for this Cork team. Vital cog as she heads back over here. It's great to see there's still autograph hunters here. I was sure every little girl in Cork would surely have their autographs of these players now, but again, it's about the connection, isn't it? Maintaining that connection that was brought so well last year, obviously with the All-Ireland victory. Yeah, it's great to see the supporters out here and for players to interact with them, and just want to see more of that. We need all the support and the fans for the game, and it's great to see, but hopefully now going forward into the semi-final, those fans will travel up and support the teams in the semi-final stages. Yeah, well, Ger, I know, has extricated himself, so if you don't mind, Gemma, will you just run over there and grab Ger to maybe have a quick word with us here, just as a conclusion. He's been doing his other media work. Thanks for catching his eye there, Ger. Ger, congratulations. I'll give you that microphone there if you don't mind. Ger, just cameras above us here. Yeah. Listen, congratulations. You probably didn't expect the ease of that victory, did you?
Well, no, like we've played Galway, and Jim will probably tell you down through the years they're very hard to beat. I think we got the monkey off our back last year in the semi-final, and Cathal Murray's done a super job. They're there every year, and for us, I suppose, physically, it's the hardest game you'll get. I think Kilkenny, Galway Galway, Tipperary, they're all at that level. Even Waterford are coming down now. I suppose we got the scores at the right time, got a goal at the right time in the first half, started the second half, and that's, I didn't kill it off because they came and did a few chances, but I suppose, look, we took our chances there.
Yeah, that spell, I think it was about the 17th to the 24th. You get a goal and 4 points.
Yeah.
How important was Laura Hayes and our player of the match, Aoife Healy, to that?
Look, they're phenomenal players. I suppose Laura got 2 great scores there. Aoife carried the ball well, created a lot of chances. Look, she's a dual player. We're trying to mind her. I think she gave up the football, which I can't say out too loud. She'd probably be one of the best Camogie players in the country, and she is up there with one of being the best. But look, I suppose down in Cork, I don't know that they have it in Galway dual players, but we have that issue here the last few years, and we embrace it really. Libby Coppinger is missing there now today. Maeve did it before. Orla Callan played dual, and they're very talented, the girls. And I suppose, look, in Galway will probably be a bit disappointed. But I suppose, look, we were focused on winning today. We set out our stall. I suppose we got a lucky draw now, in that we got our first game at home, then we got 2 games away, and I'll call him handy, but I suppose we were lucky Dublin last week, and we had a very good performance against Dublin, and today was very good again. And look, the quality's improving all the time. Are we, I'm not the final score, are we 10 points better than Galway every day? Probably not, but I thought today we were. I thought we played very well, and I think Galway will still be in the championship. I wouldn't like to meet in the quarter final next week. Like, they have a few players missing today. I think they'll take a bit of beating next week,
and I'm sure they could still be in the long grass for you later on as well.
Oh, totally. Like, Colin knows, I was on the call there after, and I said the same to him. We'd probably meet him later on the year, hopefully. Like, I mean, I never judge it on a given day. Anybody in the Camogie can beat us. I think if we play well, we're hard to beat. Even in the league, we probably came back very late in the league this year. We did that purposely because a lot of girls have been playing a lot of perimeter clubs and schools and colleges, and we came back purposely late, and I suppose it caught us in the league a bit. Like, we don't go to lose any match, and I think from the Clare game on the semi-final, the Munster, we won the Munster final, and momentum. Now we've a break of a month. We hadn't that for a bit, so we're just going to sit down now and see how we'll work that out, because we hadn't had that the 3 years I'm involved. We really hadn't had that, so that's the thing we have to look at now and see where we go.
Yeah, because, you know, in the back of my head, would that be a little bit of a concern that you have that break now, Ger? Because to me, you know, I'm outside your camp looking in. Yeah. You've timed this run. You know, you've really started to get a bit of form, and you're punching now. Yeah. Now all of a sudden it has to come to a halt.
Yeah. You're spot on, and that's I suppose. Look, we're happy in a sense because the Jewels are playing next week. If they win, I think they're out again the following week. Yeah. So it probably helps us that way to give Aoife and Hannah a break. Yeah. But I suppose, look, we're going to give them a break this week if we won. If we weren't, we're going to just drive on. We've definitely been improving the break. I suppose we did so much. If we we'll sit down. I suppose it's probably not going to be easy to get them back up to the level again, but we'll have to, because semi-finals are there to be won, and I really don't care how good or bad we are in the semi-final once we win it. Yes. Like, if we have a performance like that today, I think it'll be very hard to beat any team. It'll be hard to beat us, but it's just going to get that performance. And as you said, the break will be hard to manage. Look, we're around the block a bit, myself and Liam, we'll have a look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. Ger, how I said it to Aoife, the girls seem to have thrived under the pressure of being All-Ireland champions. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, well, look, you're there to be beaten. I suppose we looked at Galway last year, and they beat us in a couple of leagues, and we looked at them the semi-final, and we felt, and that was the final, and I'm not knocking any other team. Like, we had a brilliant win against Kilkenny in the quarter-final, very tough game above, and then we in a very tough game down in Northern Park, and then Waterford, give them their credit. I thought we got to run them just to start of the second half, but I think to be All-Ireland champions, you've put so much into it. They want to win it again, the girls. They're a very focused group, and look, you need a bit of luck. You have a bit of luck. You need a bit of luck to win these things. We put a lot in, and as I tell them, the more you put in, I think the luckier you get, and they do put in a lot. Look, you can say it's 3 nights a week. It's probably 7 nights a week for some of the girls. So between everything, they're in the gym, they're doing this, they're working full time. I suppose it is getting more high profile with yourselves doing the games and that, which is great. And I think what we put in, I suppose every other county's putting in, but I do think we've a very good team. Yeah,
well, they seem to thrive on it today. Lastly, you'll get to enjoy obviously Croke Park next weekend maybe, and sit back and watch the opposition. You'll never doubt Kilkenny, you'll never doubt Galway. Waterford obviously now, coming back into a kind of, they won't fear Galway next week. And the Dubs obviously have a big win today, won't fear Kilkenny.
As I said last week in Dublin, and I'm not knocking around, I think we played well, and I just think nothing went for Dublin last week. I think we got a great start, and I just think, bang, they've been doing very well. We watched them against the previous week, Wexford, they were excellent. And Wexford actually played well against us in the first game, and I thought to be very even, and I think we just got a very good start. Waterford are coming. I think, look, they have Bet, and they've Lorraine Bray, they have super players. I think Tipper flying. Like, give them their credit, tip. They really set out the stall this year, and I think they've a lot of good players. And Kilkenny are coming. We played them 6 or 8 weeks on a challenge game there, and great game, and there's 9 between us. And I think you can, what you ever say about Kilkenny, it's probably like Cork. They'll always be thereabouts. Yeah. Galway aren't out of the championship. I think to be a humdinger, I think I don't know who won today. I presume it's Galway and Waterford.
It's going to be Galway, Waterford, and Dublin and Kilkenny.
Yeah, look, Kilkenny, Dublin ran Kilkenny close. The tip beaten by much?
3 points.
Yeah, so look, there's nothing in it. There's and like, I know today you kind of look at that and you kind of go, but they had a few injuries now today, missing a few. But our performance, I think the level we're at today, we just played very well, and I don't think there'll be nothing between all the teams when it comes to it.
Yeah, well, championship really starts now, I suppose.
Well, look, I suppose for us, we set up today. It's been unfortunate for Carl's team that the 2 best teams in the group had to meet today, and whoever lost had to go out. Haven't us. I suppose last year, but we were lucky last year in the sense that we had Galway the first game, so we knew where we had to go, and we had a bit of a break before the quarter-final 2 weeks, I think, whereas the groups this year were bigger, you know, so look.
We'll see how it pans out anyway, Ger. So we manage the next month, we'll decide, I would imagine.
We'll have a good month, yeah, that. 27 Nolan Plan.
Thanks, Steve.
What did Waterford?
It was a heavy score. Something 3 something. I'll find it out there for you, but it was a big win. It was a big win. Yeah. Thanks, Ger. That's Ger Manley, and we'll get Gemma back in just to wrap matters up here, and then we'll leave Super Value Park Equive. She's doing all sorts of jobs for me here today. Gemma, Ger is obviously quite happy, but it is now important. He's thought about a month break. Like, that is how he manages that in preparation for a semi-final is obviously going to be key to whether you retain the All-Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah, I spoke about it earlier, you know, with the Munster final and then straight into the championship phase for Cork, and you know, you have to have tired legs there, and you know, after a performance like today, and they have a few injuries as well, so you know, the month will be welcomed, and you know, it'll be you know, a crucial phase to get the body right and get their tactics right, and you know, just to kind of build on what they're after doing today.
Yeah, build exactly on what was achieved and how important they've been in the group stages. Again, though, I just thought about I said to him about the pressure of the All Ireland. It seems to be sitting well on a number of these players' shoulders. They're really thriving in it, aren't they? Yeah,
to be fair, you know, a lot of these young players that kind of have come to the forefront, you know, in the last year or two, and they're certainly proven that they're worthy, and you know, if they continue this, you know, hopefully they'll have a good spell in the semi-final. But again, you just don't know what's going to happen in the semi-final, you know, and a good spell could turn into just maybe a bad performance on the day. But you know, it's just important to keep the heads right from here on in, and not to get too carried away with their win today. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So it finished up here in Super Value Park Equive at 216-217. So that means that Cork then were a group winners. The other game then on the opposite side meant the Tipperary group winners having defeated Kilkenny by 115 to 15 points. So that then cemented Kilkenny's place in second place, and Waterford then defeating Derry by 315 to 6 cemented their place in third place. And then in the second group here then as well, of course, Galway losing up by 216 to 17, but they will be in second place, and they will be joined in the quarterfinals by Dublin, who defeated down by 419 to 3 points. So that means then next weekend Kilkenny Camogie will take on of course Dublin, and that game will be ahead of the Senior Hurling Championship game that involves obviously Kilkenny, and then that'll be followed the next day ahead of the Limerick Senior Hurling game that of course will see Galway take on Waterford. That could promise to be a cracker next Sunday afternoon. But just to confirm then, in the game it got right daunting and everything. Antrim scoring 3 goals in the last 15 minutes of play to really push it, and actually went ahead on the 53rd minute 3-11 to 2-13, but 3 Cueva Costello points ensures that Limerick are safe. They stay up, and matters there in the closing stages. They win by 217 to 312. So Antrim and Down are relegated. That's what's ending up out of that. Derry and Limerick are safe, and Wexford and Clare, their seasons are finished for this year. Well, my thanks to Gemma O'Connor. We'll hopefully be able to get her back again. It might mean that we'll have to bring her up the country, but we'll see. Thanks, Gemma, for joining us this afternoon. Thanks, Million.
And thanks to David and Ger in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over and done and dusted with the groups. It's on to the quarterfinals next weekend. Enjoy the Camogie Championship wherever you might be watching it over the next couple of weeks. Good luck to you.